commence primary ignition.
Chewie, get us out of here!
Fire the emergency booster engines!
We'll be safe enough once we make the jump to hyperspace.
At last, we will review more news on the podcast.
Don't strap yourselves in. I'm going to make a jump to light speed.
Welcome to Star Wars Launchpad, a new kind of podcast experience brought to you by Star Wars Escape Pod. We call this a Flashcast. Using the power of AI, we bring you an immersive experience to explore Star Wars news. Full AI disclosure, some details may not be fully accurate. Either way, we hope you enjoy the experimental deep dive ahead with your AI hosts, Dak and Mia.
Welcome to this deep dive, where we're synthesizing all the Star Wars news that dropped in, well, basically the October 2025 cycle.
Yeah, a lot came out of New York Comic Con especially.
Exactly. We're going to cut through all that noise, give you the fastest way to get up to speed on what's happening in the galaxy far, far away.
And it's a really interesting mix we're looking at today. It seemed like Lucasfilm's got these two tracks running.
How so?
Well, they're expanding stories we already love, like taking The Mandalorian to the movies, big screen stuff.
Right.
But they're also pushing hard into totally new areas. It's like mixed reality gaming, even like brand new book genres for Star Wars.
Okay, gotcha. So, our mission today is to unpack the biggest pieces, film, games, publishing. We want you to know not just what's coming in 2026 and beyond, but maybe why it feels important for Star Wars overall.
That sounds good.
Let's kick things off where, honestly, the hype is probably loudest right now. The return of Mando and Grogu. So, first things first, we got that teaser trailer for Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu. It confirms the date, May 22, 2026.
And filmed for IMAX, which is key.
Huge signal, yeah. That immediately says big screen event, not just another season on streaming.
Totally. And the scale feels right for the context the teaser sets up. You've got Din and Grogu, and the sources make it clear they're out there while the New Republic is still pretty shaky, still figuring things out.
Right, surrounded by these Imperial warlords who haven't just rolled over.
Exactly. So the movie isn't just like a Monster of the Week adventure. It feels like it's plugged into that whole chaotic galactic situation.
We definitely saw some big action. I mean, taking down old Imperial ATTs looked great.
Right.
And, okay, gotta mention it, a brand new Razor Crest, sleek looking.
It did look good.
But the bit that really jumped out for me anyway was that gladiator scene where the Dejaric creatures, the holochess monsters, they're like real now. Big life-size combatants. That's just fantastic visual world building.
It really is. And the poster art, that tells its own story too, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, what'd you pick up there?
Well, the big one is Zeb Aurelios is back.
Zeb from Rebels. That's huge for fans who follow the animation.
It is. But it does raise a question. You're bringing in Zeb, who might be a bit obscure for casual moviegoers. And you've also got Sigourney Weaver joining as a totally new character, this Colonel Ward.
Right.
So is leaning that hard into the Rebels connections while also introducing major new players gonna maybe confuse people who haven't watched every single show?
That's a fair point. It suggests Lucasfilm is really betting that the core Mandalorian audience is already pretty invested in this whole New Republic era. Maybe watched Ahsoka too.
Seems like it.
And Colonel Ward, plus those glimpses of Hutts, you saw the silhouette, right? Or maybe a pair of them.
It definitely Hutts. An impressive silhouette.
That feels like it's pointing towards the movie digging into the criminal underworld, the factions operating kind of outside the New Republic's reach.
Which makes sense. You'd need someone like Zeb with his background to navigate that kind of world.
Absolutely. Bringing in the Hutts suggests it's not just about rogue Imperials, but about these old power structures like organized crime, maybe trying to fill the void the Empire left.
It definitely elevates the stakes beyond just hunting warlords. It's politics, it's crime, it's messy.
And we know they'll back it all up with lore. That's Star Wars.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian Visual Guide, it's coming out April 28th, 2026.
Okay.
And it's already confirmed to include details from the movie itself. So boom, instant backstory for fans who want it.
That's smart timing.
Yeah.
And you see the whole ecosystem, right? Same day, you get the art of coloring. The Mandalorian and Grogu, the Mandalorian official Funko POP coloring book, even a revised Mandalorian crochet book.
Crochet, love it.
It's covering all the bases, lore nerds, collectors, crafters.
Yeah.
Everyone gets something right when the hype is building.
Okay, let's shift from the blockbuster movie scale to something really cutting edge. We got to talk about Star Wars. Beyond Victory, a mixed reality playset.
Right, the new game where you get to embrace your inner pod racer. What I find fascinating here is how they're using, like, real emotional depth to anchor what's basically a racing game.
How do you mean?
Well, it's set during the Empire era. Your character, Volo Bolas, is this racer trying to make it big, but reality keeps hitting failing garage, you know. But the real core is Volo's best friend, Playa, just died. And Volo feels this need to carry on their shared dream. The game literally says Volo must carry on a dream for two.
Wow, okay. That definitely adds weight. It's not just about winning prize money then.
Not at all. And the antagonist choice is, I think, brilliant. Sebulba's back.
Sebulba. No way.
Yeah, but he's not the champ he used to be. The sources describe him as diminished, kind of a dark mentor figure to Volo.
Interesting.
He's leveraging the desperation of that Imperial era.
Right.
It makes him more complex than just the cartoon villain from Episode I.
That's really smart character work. Avoids pure nostalgia, makes him fit the darker tone of the Empire era.
Exactly. And there's a whole supporting cast, too. Sorna, described as a maternal Twi'lek artist. Delan Tyrell, for this, he's the son of Rats Tyrell, the pod racer who died in the Boon Tadif classic in Episode I.
Whoa, deep cut.
Right. And this opportunistic mercenary named Luda. It sounds like a proper underworld story unfolding around the racing.
It really does. And, quick fun fact for the real fans, Greg Proops is back.
No kidding. As who?
He voices Triz, who's apparently part of Sebulba's crew, and he's back as Fode, the announcer during the races.
That's fantastic continuity. Love that.
Me too. But okay, mixed reality. We need to explain this for people because it's still kind of new territory. How does the game actually play?
So you got different modes. There's the adventure mode, that's where all that story and emotional stuff lives.
Right.
Then there's playset mode. The source material calls this the mode that fulfills this universal urge to play with toys. Sounds like a sandbox.
Like setting up figures and vehicles?
Yeah, digital ones in your space. Using tools, creating scenes. Then there's arcade mode, which is more straightforward. Hone your racing, climb leaderboards.
Okay, but the mixed reality part. How does the tech actually work? What does the player see and do?
This is the clever bit, I think.
Yeah.
It uses different tech for different things. For the detailed, hands-on stuff, like fixing your pod racer, it uses full VR. So you're right there, using a virtual welding tool, sparks flying, getting that up-close mechanical feel.
Immersive?
Very. But for the action, the races themselves, those happen outside the headset on like a physical haulable projected into your room.
So you're watching little digital pods race around your coffee table, basically.
Kinda, yeah. The description calls it a 3D storybook feel. It gives you this cool, almost tactical overview of the race happening in your physical space.
That makes sense. It uses the mixed part to give you two distinct experiences, the intense VR for repairs and the broader physical view for the races.
Exactly. It feels like it justifies the tech rather than just being a gimmick.
All right, let's switch gears again. Publishing. NYCC 2025 just unloaded a ton of book and comic news.
An absolute mountain of it. It really shows how much the galaxy is expanding on the page right now.
And the strategy seems interesting. It's not just more books, but different kinds of books.
Totally. Genre expansion is the big theme. Take the novels, we've got Star Wars. Legacy by Madeline Rue coming July 28th, 2026.
Okay, what's that about?
It's post-Rise of Skywalker. Follows Rey and Leia Organa trying to mend the Skywalker lightsaber. The one that split.
Fixing the broken saber. That feels pretty symbolic, doesn't it? Mending the legacy itself.
Definitely feels that way. But maybe the biggest headline grabber, novel-wise, is Star Wars. Eyes Like Stars by Ashley Poston. Summer 2026.
Why is that the headline?
Because they're billing it as the first official Star Wars romance novel.
Whoa, okay. Romance, like romance.
Yeah, it's YA, set about a year and a half before The Force Awakens. But yeah, marketed straight up as romance.
That's a big step, isn't it? Pushing into a genre Star Wars hasn't really officially claimed before.
It's a major boundary push. Clearly a strategic move to maybe pull in a new audience demographic. Is it risky? Maybe some longtime fans won't love it.
Sure.
But doing it as YA, setting it just before the sequels, it feels like they're testing the waters. Saying, look, Star Wars can tell stories about relationships, about love, not just war and Jedi stuff.
That context makes sense. It fits with this idea of experimenting. And if we look at the Star Wars Read stuff happening this month.
Right, the annual celebration.
There was news there, too, about a new trilogy focusing on the early Empire.
Yeah, that sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
Told from the perspectives of Mon Mothma, Bail Organa, and Saw Gerrera. exploring the first year after the Empire took over.
Okay, that sounds like serious lore building for the political side of things.
Absolutely. Feels like a shift for the adult novels, maybe. Less Jedi versus Sith, more political thriller, espionage, the tough choices those non-Jedi leaders had to make, how the rebellion actually started politically.
Laying that groundwork. That's cool. And they haven't forgotten the sequel era either, right? Finn and Janna are back.
Yep, in a novel called Star Wars. The Last Order set after Episode 9X. So exploring what happens next for them.
Good, good. Okay, moving to comics, there was one announcement that just made me blink. Jar Jar Binks.
Huh. Yes. Jar Jar Binks, #1, coming February 2026. A one-shot.
But it's not just Jar Jar, is it? He's teaming up with Kelleran Beck, the Jedi who saved Grogu.
That's the hook. And the kicker. It's co-written by Ahmed Best.
No way. The actor who played both Jar Jar and Kelleran Beck.
The very same.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of brilliant, isn't it? It's meta, it's fan service. It feels like the franchise really embracing Ahmed Best and maybe trying to heal some old wounds around Jar Jar's reception.
That's actually really thoughtful, pairing his two iconic, very different characters written by him.
Wow, it's a statement for sure. Beyond that, you've got more expected but still cool stuff. Yeah. Like a manga adaptation of one of the Vision shorts.
Yeah. Which one?
Tsukumo. The one about the lone Jedi taking droids to a droid's paradise after Order 66. That's out July 14, 2026.
Nice. And more High Republic.
Always more High Republic. A new miniseries called Pathfinders, set about 20 years after Phase 2, so bridging towards Phase I territory.
Keeping that era alive. Okay, and we can't skip the big glossy books, the art and lore stuff.
Definitely not. These are foundational, huge releases coming. Industrial Light and Magic. 50 years of innovation, that's January 2026. 50 years of ILM.
Incredible. What else?
It's The Art of Star Wars. Andor, the complete series. That's May 2026. Promises unseen concept art.
Ooh, I bet that's gorgeous.
And The Art of Star Wars. The Acolyte, also January 2026, with a foreword from Leslie Headland herself.
Getting the art book out fast for that one.
Yeah, and a big one for design fans. A 2-volume set on Doug Chiang's career. Doug Chiang. The Cinematic Legacy, that's actually dropping soon, December 2nd, 2025.
Oh, wow. Doug Chiang deserves that. His designs are iconic.
Absolutely.
And one last one for the real literary deep divers. They're putting out an updated deluxe edition of the Revenge of the Sith novelization later this month.
Matthew Stover's novelization. What's updated?
New annotations from Stover himself.
Get out! That's amazing. People love that novelization. Getting Stover's insights added. Yeah, that's pure gold for prequel fans. And, all this publishing news really ties into what's happening right now in October. It's Star Wars Reads Month.
Right, that annual campaign. It started back in 2011, didn't it? Aimed at getting people reading, especially younger fans, educators, librarians.
Exactly. It's a nice grassroots effort.
Yeah.
And it connects directly to the latest stuff. They're using it to promote things like the final phase of the High Republic Phase 3, Trials of the Jedi.
Makes sense. Keep the momentum going.
And supporting the Acolyte, too, pointing people towards the tie-in novel Wayseeker and the visual guide that are already out, making sure viewers know there's more to explore in print.
It's a smart way to bridge the different media, and they offer activities, too, right? Like on the website?
Yeah, printable stuff, coloring pages, games, even instructions for making your own Yoda ears, apparently.
Ah, gotta love the DIY Yoda ears. It's all about making Star Wars accessible and fun, connecting reading with that hands-on excitement. Hashtag tag outro. Okay, so let's try and pull this all together. We've gone from Mando and Grogu hitting IMAX.
Yeah, a huge scale.
To this really intricate, emotional, mixed reality pod racing game.
Yep, Beyond Victory.
And then this absolute flood of books and comics, doing everything from official romance novels to, Jar Jar team-ups written by Ahmed Best.
Quite the range.
So, stepping back, what's the big picture here? What does this wave of news tell us about Lucasfilm's strategy right now?
I think it's really about testing limits, both in terms of format and audience. They're taking characters. People love Mando, yes, but also digging back for Sebulba, even Jar Jar, and putting them into new context, often with more complex emotional stories.
Right.
And at the same time, they're experimenting aggressively with how they tell stories. Mixed reality, manga, dedicated romance.
Okay.
They're trying to make sure there's a Star Wars entry point for basically everyone, no matter what kind of story or experience you're looking for.
Yeah, bridging the familiar with the new and trying different ways to deliver it.
Exactly. Meeting fans where they are, but also pushing the boundaries of what a Star Wars story can even be.
It definitely feels like those boundaries are getting blurrier all the time. Which leads to a final thought for you listening. With stuff like Sebulba returning but kind of washed up, and the first official romance novel hitting the canon, What's next? What traditional Star Wars trope, or maybe what forgotten character, are you hoping they remix or reinvent in a totally unexpected way?
Ooh, good question. What part of the galaxy is just waiting for a complete shakeup?
Something to think about.
I'm glad you're here to tell us these things.
This AI experimental show we call a Flashcast has been brought to you by the podcast Star Wars Escape Pod. With AI being harnessed in all things across the galaxy, this is just a fun way we've used it to bring some Star Wars joy, news, and headlines to you ad-free as always. Consider subscribing to this show for more. Follow our main podcast with humanoids only over at Star Wars Escape Pod. We're currently found on YouTube, X, and Blue Sky using the handle at SW Escape Podcast. Check the description for relevant links and the sources for your news this week. Consider dropping a kind review for the show, reviewing any important facts for yourself, and sharing this with a friend. We hope you enjoyed the episode. This is Star Wars Launchpad, signing off. May the Force be with you.